I don't know. I just want to say to the Canadian people, because I said the other day that I don't go to Canada anymore. I'd rather go to Russia. I was joking around, first of all, but I do not go to Canada anymore. But it's because of the government. It has nothing to do with the people. I think the people are fucking lovely. They're some of my favorite people of all time. Canadian people, I think, are 20% less douchey than Americans. I would say that. It's like Canada's like America, but 20% less douchebags. They're the nicest people. They're well-educated. It's a great population. Montreal's amazing. Toronto's amazing. I love Canada. But when you start fucking closing people's bank accounts because they donated to a trucker convoy and no one's up in arms about that, like you can't let those people do that to you. That shouldn't be legal. You're donating to a bunch of people that are protesting and they close your bank account? That's crazy suppression of expression. That's scary stuff. That's like you're going to get locked up stuff. That's like the next step of that is imprison you for protesting something that you have every right to protest. You shouldn't tell me I have to take an experimental vaccine that proved to be totally ineffective. So I was right. So you can't, and then you're taking my bank account away because I donated to some fucking people that were protesting something I believe in? That's crazy.
They got very drunk on power, man. A lot of governments did during that time.
They went full WEF. They went full New World Order. And they continue to clamp down more and more, and they do it under these beautiful flags of diversity and inclusion and love and
safety
and safety for this group and safety for that. All the while they're just squeezing your neck and you don't even know they got their fucking arm under your chin. And next thing you know, you're just locked up. You're locked up. And that's scary to me, and I see it coming, and I see it coming in a place that I love, and I think it's fucking crazy. It's crazy that they let that guy be president for so long, and now he stepped down. They got another guy that Jordan Peterson says is just as bad.
Well, he was a governor of the Bank of England for a while, Mark Carney.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
That's actually one of the interesting things that has happened in the UK, because we were constantly being gaslit that like our entire establishment is entirely neutral, they're apolitical, they're absolutely neutral, they're balanced, neutral, balanced, neutral, whatever. And then you see a lot of the BBC journalists, and Francis and I both have a lot of respect for the BBC because it used to be a great thing. It used to be real high quality journalism. And then a lot of the people that have left a lot of these institutions, they start a podcast and suddenly go, oh, okay, you're just a far left activist.
Right.
That's what you are. And you see that all over the place now. And that gaslighting is getting undone now. And it's good. We need to see what these people were up to.
You mean you're going to have your far right and your far left. You're always going to have that. Yeah. But it's just very important to have a reasonable center and be allowed to. You have to be allowed to be reasonable. Like there was a lot of like dismissing on the left of like the shit Antifa was doing. Yeah. Especially during the time where they took over Seattle, where they took over that giant block of
Chaz and Chop. I remember that.
The reaction to that was so insane. It's so insane. Like you gotta call that out. You can't just ignore that because they're on the left. That's nuts. If that was the right. If Nazis had taken over giant blocks of land, you would be calling in the National Guard instantaneously. You would never allow that to happen. If they're kicking legitimate businesses out of their buildings, they took over the police station. Are you fucking kidding me? If Nazis did that? But you're okay if the far left does it.
And they had guns and murders were committed.
Yes. It's nuts. The whole thing was nuts. And the attitude was, it's on our side, so we ignore these transgressions. And that's crazy. They're not your side. None of this is your side. There's individual human beings existing together in what's supposed to be a community. The country is supposed to be a team. We're Team America, World Police.
You're less keen to do that now, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to get Greenland first. Greenland's an important property when, all this oil that we're going to burn to make America great again. And we're going to make it a little warmer, so whatever. So we're going to get a cold spot. Look, America's pretty new. Okay, if Greenland becomes actually Greenland again, like, hey, we got a good chance of a beautiful new America. America 2. America 2.
America's expanding. Get used to it.
Yeah, when Greenland becomes like, Edmonton, it's warm in the summer, hot, cold as fuck in the winter. Like, people live in Edmonton. Yeah. It's a great place.